be educated, but I'm so frustrated. Hello to my loneliness. I guess that ignorance is bliss. Take me back to before I knew. Rewind, take it out of cue. Innocence can be a young man's game. Signed up for the hall of shame. I wish I knew how much I miss not knowing that we're all screwed. Out, but the sky is gray. What would happen if I took a chance? It's always hard at first glance. I don't wanna, but I know I gotta do it. The truth is hard to swallow. I think I'll chew it. I knew.
I'm just trying to give you something spooky out to for you. I'm just trying to give you something. I'm just trying to give you something spooky out to for you. I'm just trying to give you something.
I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. I'm a who that. Sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons, pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that at. Where we do that at. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that at. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the sports coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports fam. Here's Dennis Allen.
All right, guys.
Good to get Alvin back out there today.
Yeah. And he looked good out there today, so he'll be ready to go for this weekend.
Dennis, do you think when you're looking at what Philly's doing this year, think you can see that as a possible roadmap for you all to get back to where you kind of expect to be and where you have been in recent years?
Well, look, I mean, that's really something for next year. It's not really something to really be paying attention to right now or worried about right now. I think where our focus is on, how do we go up to Philly against a really, really good team and try to get a win. And so that's really where our focus is right now.
How much do you lean on the past two times that you played him and just kind of the characteristics of how the game was unfolded?
Yeah, look, I don't think the past two times have any bearing on what happens in this game. I think we got to, go up there with our game plan and a focus on doing whatever it takes to try to win this game. And so, look, we obviously have paid attention to the tape, but yet, we're really focused on what's right there in front of us and not really focused on what's happened in the past.
When a quarterback can run like this, what does that do to elevate the other ball carriers? Does that make it harder to just kind of defend everything?
Yeah, look, I mean, again, like we've talked about a lot this year, anytime you have a quarterback that can run the football, again, it makes you play 11-on-11 football, and you always have to account for the quarterback on every single play. And so, it makes it more challenging. And then obviously, he's been playing at an MVP level and being able to throw the football also. And so that makes it even more challenging. And then you take into account the weapons that he has on the outside, including Dallas Goedert at the tight end position. They've got a tremendously talented football team, and they're playing really well.
Dennis, when you look back at what Washington was able to do, just really heavy ground game, control the clock, is that, not getting into strategy or anything, but is that something you
Well, look, yeah, I mean, we're always taking a look at the teams that have had the most success against them. They've only got 2 losses on the season, so they've been very difficult on the entire league in terms of trying to win the game. But there's some things that you look at that you try to pick and choose where some teams have had some success and different things that they've had success with, and you see how it fits what you do, and then you try to incorporate some of those things into the game plan, whether it be offense, defense, or in the kicking game.
All right, that's enough for him, man. Let me get him on up out of here, fam. So that's the end of Dennis Allen. I mean, he has some other stuff to talk about, but pretty much the same stuff from Dennis Allen, man. You don't get too much deep stuff from Dennis Allen. He's a pretty surface level guy. But it'd be fun to hear about this guy, hear what he think. Let's play a little bit of this guy. This was an older one. Here you go, man. For those who, I know what y'all know what he sounds like.
Skills, because of his teaching skills, because of his football acumen, and frankly, he's just a damn good football coach. We interviewed him for 6 hours last week. But the truth is, we've been interviewing him for 12 of the last 16 years. We hated it when he left in 2011. And we couldn't have been more excited than when he returned to us in 2015. He's been instrumental in all of the success that we've had over the last 16 years. We are grateful for Allison, And we're grateful for Garrison and Layla, who are true New Orleanians in the family because they've spent most of their life here. I couldn't be more honored, more excited than to introduce the next head coach of the New Orleans Saints, Dennis Allen.
That moment, and that's a moment in time I like to take back you. Why the hell did you play that video? I don't want to talk about that too much.
Look, we selected Dennis Allen, and we selected him because of his leadership skills.
Oh, what? Okay. Boy, when you listen to that shit from, it's like going in time, man. The leadership skills. All right, continue on, Mickey.
Because of his teaching skills.
Oh, wow. What's the third thing you got, Mickey?
Because of his football acumen.
He has football acumen. Oh, football acumen. What is Mickey talking about here? Is Mickey drunk?
And frankly, he's just a damn good football coach.
Oh, really? Is he? You hear this? That's why I always like to keep things like this on tap, man. To keep the Who-Dats laughing, man. Notice he got chopped up. He couldn't do anymore. He couldn't talk about too much more if the land and spreading don't too thick there, Mick.
We interviewed him for 6 hours last week, but the truth is, we've been interviewing him for 12 of the last 16 years.
Well, you understand. And another caveat to it is the fact that, you see, Sean Payton, talked to Sean. Sean said, hey, Mickey, you interviewed Dennis for 6 hours. How about, I heard you, you interviewed the other guy from Kansas City, Eric Bieniemy for 8 hours. So you guys, you seem like you ain't got your mind made up. That's what Sean said. And Sean said, well, who should I pick, Sean? He said, hey, man, it's easy. Dennis Allen, so we've been interviewing him, and I let it spread it on thick, But there it is. That's Mick from the mind and the mouth of Mickey. Boy, I got to hear that again, Mickey. Let me hear them 3 things you said he good at. Talk to us again, Mick.
Did Dennis Allen. And we selected him because of his leadership skills.
What leadership
Because of his teaching skills.
What teaching skills?
Because of his football acumen.
And what else?
And frankly, he's just a damn good football coach.
He ran out of stuff. First and foremost, I don't want crap on Dennis Allen because he does such a good job of doing it on his own. Boy, that didn't age well at all, did it, fam? That didn't age well. I bet most of the family members forgot that, huh? I bet y'all forgot why the Saints hired Dennis Allen. Like, man, what the hell did we hire this guy? Well, listen, it's straight from the horse's mouth. You see, Sean. It's all Sean. Talk to Sean. Boy, his teaching skills, his leadership ability, and his teaching acumen, and just frankly, he's a damn good ball coach. No, he's not. He's a coordinator, yes. But he got the job because he's Sean Payton's boy. That's what it really came down to. Because there were a lot more better and qualified candidates for that head coaching position than Dennis freaking Allen. Sean Payton pushed him way over the top. Sean said he picked him. That damn Q. I mean, Sean might have had a little hand in, Dennis becoming a coach, just a little. I got my own damn mind, and I just feel like sometimes, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying, guy? And she might have had just a smidgen of help in there, but it's all right. It's okay. I hear you, Mickey, man. That didn't age well, to be honest with you. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all being up in the building. Much love to the fam. Thought I'd spread a little happiness on this Friday with y'all, man. Shout out. Please feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button and the share button, and share the show on your social media feed, family. Helps out the stream. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all, man. Hope y'all having a fantastic week as we approaching the end of 2023. Of course, it's coming up on Monday as the new year arrives. But man, listen, You know, that didn't age well, this interview right here. And I thought, let me spin this for the family members so they can have a little laughter there to see what Mickey talking about. Mickey don't know what he talking about standing up there half drunk. Anyway, let's get into the Saints Friday injury report on this one, fam. This was called Jalen Hurts Doubtful versus the Saints. That's big news for the black and gold. And chances are he won't be active for the game. Gardner Minshew is who the Saints will have to go against, and it's a big difference between Hurts and Minshew. The running game is what you have to really pay attention to. But as far as the black and gold is concerned, without seeing Jalen Hurts out there, it's a big sigh for them because, boy, he's a handful running around there tearing them up. 11 Saints players were listed on Friday injury report. Week 17 against the Eagles, with 3 being ruled out. Kamara was a full participant. Good to see AK-41 back at practice. Caden Ellis is good to go. Justin Evans, limited, questionable. Elvin is good to go. Cornerback Marshawn Lattimore still listed as questionable. Marcus Mayhem is only, he really saying Mayday. He needs a lot of help. He going to miss this game. And Marcus May missed a lot of games this year, really did, for the Saints, man. And he really didn't, live up to the billing, in my opinion, man. He missed a lot of time. His court stuff still hadn't come to head either, in Elvin's stuff either. So we might be seeing that in the near future from them for next season. Chris Olave was limited. He's listed as questionable. Pete is out. We knew that was going to happen with his ankle issue. Ramczyk is good to go. Dwayne Washington with illness is out, and questionable is Pete Werner and Chase Hansen, 2 of our linebackers there. And of course, we go on to Philly side of things. You see Jalen Hurts listed as doubtful, which means more than likely he won't be in this contest. Lane Johnson, their best outside tackle, he's out. Avonte Maddox, people wanted to see him play. He's listed as out. But Miles Sanders, their best running back, is good to go. So is A.J. Brown, had some knee problems. He's good. Jordan Davis, the big interior lineman, is good to go. Linval Joseph, another massive interior guy, is good to go. And, of course, the rest of these guys, Fletcher Cox, Dickerson, Graham, Kels, and Sumalo, all those guys were set down because of rest. So they'll be good to go. So Hurts is the big thing. And like Bird Game, shout out to him and the fam. Mentioned that everything flows through Jalen Hurts. They look different when he's not in there, man. And Gardner Minshew is the guy that the Saints defense will have to deal with. But still in all, the Eagles are still very dangerous with that running attack, those passing guys, the wide receivers, and that defense gets after you, man. The defense is the number 1 defense in the league in terms of sacking you. They get picks, they get turnovers. They're very opportunistic. They feed off an emotional wave. And that's something that you can't allow them to do in the Philly matchup. So we did a pretty good breakdown on the game, man. For family members, feel free to check out the stream. We did it on Wednesday, the Eagles and Saints preview with Bird Game 31. He did a real wonderful job of previewing the matchup. And speaking of Jalen Hurts, here it is, the key article from Timothy Rapp of Bleacher Report. Hurts doubtful against the Saints, reportedly made big strides in injury rehab. He just wasn't ready to go. He practiced yesterday, and then they said, man, we're going to shut this guy down. And he must not been really ready to go for them to do that. But according to Tom Pelissero of NFL Network, Hurts has made major progress in returning from his right shoulder injury this week after missing the team's Week 16 loss against the Cowboys. And, of course, he says, this is Pelissero's original tweet, Hurts' shoulder is doubtful to play Sunday, but sources say he made significant strides this week in returning to practice, and the team is very confident he will return in the short term. Hurts has been pushing to play, but his health and safety comes first, and which is what I was saying originally. Because, listen, even if he was good to go with that shoulder, he's just too important to that team. If he's healthy and doing what he's doing, they can very well make a deep playoff run. The issue is if the Saints wrap on to him, something tell me the Saints defense going to get around there and get to him. And if they get around and get to him and pull him down or whatever around his shoulder, you jeopardize the entire season. So they have a good team, and let's see what they can do. Thank you, Pammy. Pammy Whammy, shout out to the Queen. Member for 5 months, Pro Star 1. Shout out to you, fam. Appreciate you. And big ups to the fam, man. Shout out to all the family members up in this thing. Appreciate you guys. Much love to you. Please feel free to hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Jers on listen to us on Facebook. All right, so Per Tim McManus of ESPN, however, the Eagles plan to rest Hurts against the Saints in what may be a precautionary measure given the progression. He said the Eagles plan to rest Jalen Hurts against the Saints. The decision came down to health and safety issue. A source said this. The coach Sirianni referenced today Hurts' functionality in his shoulder has progressed to a point where the team expects him back on the field soon, just not against the Saints. The Eagles could clinch both the NFC East crown and the top overall seed in the NFC playoffs with a win Sunday against the Saints, along with helping to improve their 2023 first-round pick owed to them by the Saints. Now, Hurts could still see playing time in the regular season if the Eagles handle business Sunday, per NFL Network's Mike Garafolo, who said, if the Eagles win Sunday and clinch the number 1 seed, there's a possibility they play Jalen in Week 18 to make sure he's not idle for more than a month heading into the first playoff game. So there it is. So he also says the side note here is that the Giants and Eagles Week 18 opponents, so they'd be wise to handle their business this week against the Colts and not have to worry about Jalen Hurts being an obstacle to the postseason. Now, Hurts' injury has stalled a potential MVP season. The 24-year-old has almost 3,500 yards passing with 22 touchdowns against 5 interceptions, completing over 67% of his passes and taking 35 sacks. He also rushed for 747 and 13 touchdowns running the ball. So he threw for 22 and ran for 33. That's exactly the Jalen Hurts that we scouted. Exactly the Jalen Hurts that we scouted coming out of college, and people was hating on him. The Eagles are 13-1 in his starts. With Hurts out, Minshew will start for the second straight week. He offered a mixed bag against the Cowboys, throwing for 355 and 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. A solid backup option, and the 6-9 Saints are an easier matchup than the Cowboys, so said this writer. It will be up to Minshew to clinch the top overall seed in the NFC, or the Eagles will face a rivalry game against the Giants to close out the season with a lot on the line. So if it's falling right, the Saints have won 2 games in a row. They beat the Falcons, they beat the Browns, and the Browns really beat themselves. They looked awful in that game. Dropped touchdowns, Deshaun Watson sailing the ball over his receivers. This matchup, they get a potential MVP candidate that's not going to be available, and you get the backup. So it's destiny throwing a kiss to the Saints and throwing them a ladder to success. You don't see Jalen Hurts, you see his backup against the Eagles. And he's a big part of what they do. Big part. So this changes a lot. So the Saints can really focus on stuffing the run, putting the pressure on Minshew. Not as athletic as a Jalen Hurts. Very few are. But at the end of the day, it's destiny throwing the Saints a ladder to success here. Can they seize the day for a third straight win against a team missing its best player or its quarterback? This is big. This is big news, man. This is big news because it changes the dynamic greatly that he's not there. It really does, and you're facing the backup for the best team in it. I mean, this is kind of working itself out for some kind of weirdness. I don't know what it is. I don't have the crystal ball is on the fritz. It's in the shop right now. But I'm going to be honest with you. This is weird. The Saints, sorry enough, man, to stay in the playoff hunt. They sorry enough not to take their own destiny into their own hands, but, only good enough to win games when they don't have their destiny in their hands and they need people to give them. This is the second straight year this has happened, to my knowledge. Remember last year the Saints were 9-7, and we gave up a couple of games. The Giants game where we had the game and we had that collapse against the Giants, and they just pushed it into overtime, tied it up, and then won it in overtime. Y'all remember that? And then a lot of people point to that game and the Carolina game as why the Saints really didn't make the playoffs, and we had to wait for the Rams with Stafford to win the game, and it came down to like the final play, and Stafford just heaved the interception out there. He didn't even try to complete the throw. He just threw a damn interception. You remember that? I was like, look at this SOB here, what he did. If he'd have, So, I was like, man, we got to take advantage of what we have. But the Saints, man, this is weirdly setting up, man. Could they win 3 straight? I didn't think they'll get 2 straight. They ain't did it all damn year. But could they get 3 straight? Are they believing enough to go out and punch the Eagles down, man? Are they believing in themselves to beat the Eagles without their best player at the quarterback position anyway? I mean, we'll see, man. We won't have to wait very long to see. The next couple of days, we shall see. All right, let's look at this right here. And this is from friends at the Saints News Network. Shout out to Bob Rose. Saints run defense must withstand the Eagles' onslaught for upset. New Orleans was decimated by the Eagles' ground game the last time these two teams met and struggled against the run much of the year. To pull off the Week 17 upset, they have to shut down the Eagles' ground assault. 6-9 Saints square off against the 13-2 Eagles. This Sunday is a big game for both teams, with the Saints hoping to hold on to very slim postseason chances and the Eagles looking to sew up the NFC's top seed. New Orleans came into the year with expectations of having one of the league's top defenses. Boy, how that looked. They do rank 9th in total defense, giving up an average of 322.4 per contest. They also suffered breakdowns in crucial moments and have forced the fewest turnovers, 11 in the league. You know, damn. The Saints have held 4 straight opponents under 20 points, and only one team has scored 20 in their last 8 games. However, they've also had major struggles in the category that dominated from 2018 to 2021, the running game. How do you explain that? The New Orleans Saints, on an explosive Philadelphia attack that ranks 3rd in total offensive, 1st in scoring, the Eagles average almost 398 yards per game and have one of the league's most improved passing attacks, but are still fueled by the NFL's most dynamic running attack. The Saints' chances to cling to a postseason chance hinges on their ability to right their run defense against a formidable opponent, but one that might be missing is more versatile threat. Now, if you can see, these are the Saints' run defensive statistics and the averages plus the overall rankings in comparison to the rest of the teams in the NFL. Almost 22 points a game with the Saints allowed. That's 14th middle of the pack. They allow 132 rushing yards per game. That's 23rd in the NFL. Imagine that, the Saints defense giving up 132 yards per game. Remember, there was not too long ago where the Saints defense barely let you even get close to 100 yards. Remember when the Saints was keeping you down to like 89, 93, 94, 96. You remember that? 97. That is a far cry, man, and it really wasn't that long ago. The Saints are giving up 132 rushing yards per a game on the ground, which is good for 23rd. 4.5 yards per rush is what they give up. That is utterly ridiculous. But yet Dennis Allen doesn't do anything different. He doesn't bring in, and remember, Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh, both of those big space eaters, was out in free agency. And the Saints looked at them and just looked right through them like they were invisible and said, well, we all right. We're going to keep who we got. And really, when you seen that, you should have went into the free agency and got like a veteran nose tackle, somebody you can just bring in here like Malcolm Brown. I don't know if Brown's still available at the time. Several games ago, he was still available. But you can bring somebody in that's familiar that'll play for the league minimum and bring him in there and put him there. He's familiar with the defense. Put him there. We don't do none of that. And, you know, and then the Eagles are not here by chance. Let's just look at that. I wanted to talk a little bit on this on the preview stream. The Eagles are not where they are by chance. Remember the offseason. Go back in your recollection. And remember what the Eagles was doing in the offseason, where they were wheeling and dealing. They were bringing these players in here. They made the move for A.J. Brown, get him away from the Titans, and now he's their best wide receiver. They built everything around Jalen Hurts and said, we will go as far as Hurts take us. Sirianni did his thing. They got the running attack together. They beefed up the defense. They made the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson a trade to improve it, then converted him to a safety. That was the game plan originally that the Saints was going to do. Once Malcolm Jenkins retired, was they was going to move Chauncey Gardner-Johnson to safety. That's what it was supposed to be. But instead, the Eagles did it. They said, we'll happily give you whatever money you need because you won't be a nickel. You will be our safety. You will be our starting safety. And he responds by giving them 6 picks. Now, am I upset about that? Totally. Only upset because when we traded him, we should have got more draft capital for a guy like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, which is ridiculous. And we do have Alontae Taylor, and I'm very happy about Alontae Taylor, but upset if you had to trade Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You really didn't have to. It came down to $4 million. But if you had to get him up out of here, we should have got a lot more than whatever the peanuts we got for him. But they spent their entire offseason building up to have a good end season, and look how it's paid out for them. It's paid out pretty damn good for them going up into this part, and they just need one win to clinch up everything. I mean, that's pretty damn good for the Philadelphia Eagles. The Saints had a good offseason too. It's just they didn't have a competent enough coach to bring all the ends to make a meet. To the chagrin of what Mickey Loomis was saying when he was spilling out all this nonsense about Dennis Allen when we first hired him. I just thought y'all would get a chuckle out of that. Anyway, let's get back to the mediocre statistics there. The Saints are allowing, family, this is ridiculous. 4.5 yards per rush. You can't do anything with that. I mean, seriously, 4.5, almost 5 yards per rush, 2 rushes first down. That's just unsightly. They've allowed 14 rushing touchdowns. That's middle of the pack. 69 tackles for a loss, and they have the 41.5% third down percentage, which is 24th in the NFL. Not good for the Saints' run defense. Man, we got to get it cleaned up, and they've been playing better over the last several contests. We just got to step this up, and so for what purpose? Well, I mean, you still got to finish strong, right? You still want to finish strong. For 5 years, this was an unimaginable statistic, but New Orleans has allowed 7 teams to gain over 140 yards against them on the ground, including 3 games of over 200 yards. 3 runners have had 100-yard outings against them, with another 7 gaining at least 70 yards. The struggles against the run start at the tackle position. David Onyemata, Shai Tuttle, Kent Street, Malcolm Roach have all failed to get penetration or simply been pushed around by blockers. All 4 have played far better in recent weeks, but it's still a spot that needs to be addressed in the offseason. Shit, if they was worth a damn, they would address some of this in the end season right now. New Orleans Saints defensive ends have played reasonably well against the run, but their effectiveness is reduced because of the interior issues. Opponents have often been able to run inside of Cam and Davenport, Carl Granderson, and Passanio with little resistance. And maybe they should shift Passanio to interior. I mean, they don't have any imagination. My God. And I was saying this before. When we signed Passanio the first time around, Passanio is a massive player. He's 6'7", 300 pounds. And they got him at the end position. Passanio need to be tried at the interior position. He has some value there. If you see you getting gashed that bad interiorly and you don't sign anybody, move Passanio in there and let him try there. Move Passanio, let him try there. My goodness. Jordan's pass rush production is dipped, but his 11 tackles for a loss still leads the team. Granderson has played exceptionally well over the second half of the year. Has 8 tackles for a loss, 47 total snaps over his career, which is career best. Davenport and Passanio have had quiet seasons, but are still capable of disrupting opposing backfields. Saints linebackers have been consistently strong all season. DeMario is having another terrific season and leads the Saints with 94 tackles, including 9 for a loss. His elite instinct, sideline-to-sideline pursuit, and ferocious hits fuel the entire defense. Second-year linebacker Pete Warner was leading the NFL in tackles before hurting his ankle in Week 9. He was beating DeMario Davis by 20 tackles. Pete Werner was. He was tearing it up. If he was still healthy, he would be head and shoulders above DeMario in forms of the tackles. The injury forced him to miss 4 games. 1 game after his return, Werner injured his hamstring and sidelined him last week and will likely keep him out of action this Sunday. Without Werner, 4th-year linebacker Caden Ellis has blossomed into a star. Ellis has consistently disrupted offenses over the second half of the year and has been a terrific complement to Davis. Has his 71 tackles are a career high, and he's regularly blown up blockers to get to the ball carrier. And Caden Ellis has the genes of Big Luther Ellis, who was a phenomenal inside defensive lineman for the Detroit Lions for many years. And he was a 7th-round draft pick for the Saints, a kind of a boom or bust project. But he's really stepped up this year, and he showed flashes over several years. But he really turned it on and just put the afterburners on and shot right past guys like Zach Bowen. That's what you was hoping to see, a guy like Bowen perform like what Caden Ellis is doing. But Caden Ellis took off, man. And the Saints most certainly got to look at bringing him back next year. Tackling has been an issue for the Saints throughout the year. No player has epitomized those struggles more than Tyrann Mathieu, who's been a massive disappointment this season. Marcus May, another offseason pickup, has been another disappointment because of his inability to stay on the field. He's hurt this game, matter of fact. May is expected to miss his 6th game of the year. I didn't know exactly the number, what it was, but I knew it was a lot of games. 6 games, according to Bob here, this time because of a shoulder injury. The Saints have a physical secondary, which includes Alontae Taylor, Adebo, but have not swarmed the ball like we've seen in the past. They'll face a huge test against contain Philly's run game in this week. And of course, this is the Eagles' vaunted rushing attack. 29.7 points per game, first in the NFL. They average almost 154 rushing yards per game, fourth in the NFL. They average 4.7 yards per rush, 12th in the NFL. Remember, the Saints give up 4.5. They got 31 rushing touchdowns. That's first in the NFL. Remember, a lot of the rushing statistics are tied for Jalen Hurts too, because he adds that extra dimension to the rushing attack, just like a Cam Newton did when he was with his team. And most running quarterbacks, like a Lamar Jackson, they add extra touchdowns and rushing yards with the rushing attack and help vault that rushing attack number up. But 31 rushing touchdowns, first in the NFL. 48% third down percentage, which is third in the NFL. So you can see these guys, most of the pivotal stats, they're top 5 in the rush is top 12. So still very difficult. The Eagles like to pound opponents and has been held to under 90 yards rushing just 3 times. They have 4 outings of over 200 yards on the ground, including an eye-popping 363 against the Packers in Week 12. The Eagles' ground assault is led by 4th-year running back Miles Sanders, an explosive runner with underrated power. Sanders has a career high of over 1,100, almost 1,200 yards and 11 touchdowns, which includes 3 100 rushing yard performances and 5 more of at least 70. Now, Sanders has been limited by knee issues, but he did practice. They say he's good to go, but expected to play. If he's limited, Kenneth Gainwell, and Boston Scott, remember him, will assume bigger roles. Gainwell and Scott have combined for 362 and 6 scores this year, with Sanders carrying a load, but both have proven to be quality runners when given the opportunity. 3rd-year QB Jalen Hurts become an MVP candidate because of his improvement as a passer. However, Hurts' running ability has always been a lethal weapon for defenses. He's second to Sanders with 747, which includes 100-yard game, and he had 2 of at least more over 70. Now, built like a running back, 6'1", 233, Hurts' power and burst and good vision as a runner. Team high 13 rushing touchdowns, man. He got 13 rushing touchdowns and star running back out 11. Gardner Minshew will get the nod at quarterback if Hurts can't go, which he ain't, and takes an important dimension out of the Eagles' running game. Even if Hurts does play, we may see the RPO and design QB runs that we'll normally see because of the injury. Philly could also be affected by the absence of Lane Johnson, the left tackle, who missed the year's last 2 games with a groin injury. The Eagles still have a power-based offensive line led by Pro Bowl center Jason Kelce and Pro Bowl left guard Landon Dickerson. What to expect? According to Bob, the Eagles destroyed the Saints on the ground in the last 2 meetings between the teams, rushing for 246 during 2020 win and 242 to fuel the 21 route. Hurts was a New Orleans nightmare. Both contests running for 106 in 2020 and 69 and 3 touchdowns last season. Dealing with a shoulder injury, Hurts may not be running. He ain't going to run at all, so we don't have to investigate that. New Orleans defensive tackles need to continue the momentum they've played the last few weeks. They'll need to penetrate the backfield or at least stalemate Philly's blocking to prevent inside lanes. They got to stop the run because they put the pressure on Gardner Minshew. That's the game plan now. You don't have to worry about containing Jalen Hurts. Forcing Eagles runners to bounce plays outside will allow the Saints defensive ends to be a factor if they can win their matchup along the edge. It'll also give DeMario and Ellis a precious extra second to close on the ball, especially with a free path if the line can tie up the blockers. We talk about that. You know, the offensive linemen occupy the offensive linemen, and then that allows linebackers to roam free, blitz gap, do whatever they got to do, sideline to sideline, and prevent a lot of the stuff that Philly wants to do. New Orleans must be disciplined in their assignments. Philly ball carriers are terrific cutback runners, and the team thrives on misdirection. So the Saints got to have their thinking cap on. The Saints accomplished none of this the last 2 times they faced the Eagles and have struggled with it throughout the much of the year. To pull off the upset and keep slim playoff hopes alive, they need to reverse that trend on Sunday. And like we talked about, the Philadelphia Eagles attack, when you talk about guys like Jalen Hurts, which he won't be there, we always struggle against guys like that. Like I said, he hits you where it hurts. So it'll be up to the black and gold defense really to shut that running attack down. they get a break with Gardner Minshew because Jalen Hurts will definitely cause you some major problems. So the Saints will have to tune up that pressure. They're going to have to get up on that Gardner Minshew, put some pressure on them. We got to take takeaways. And listen, the matchup in Philly is going to be in the mid-50s. According to some of the weather reports, you see it to be kind of partly cloudy. Some say they'll have a chance for rain in the game. So it won't be nearly as cold as what it was when we went to Cleveland. So the Saints really felt some cold weather. This time around, it should be a little easy on them, but nonetheless, we weren't about stopping their rushing attack. The Saints offense is the problem. They need to get going. They need to run the ball, and they're going to have to take advantage of things, and they're going to have to put points on the board. Bottom line, you can't, regardless if Jalen's not playing or not, they still got weapons everywhere, and you can't outscore them, so the defense has to step up. But when the defense do step up, the goddamn Saints offense got to handle their business too, man. They can't keep being so despondent, but then again, they can. But we'll see how it all goes, man. In the game. This is very big matchup. And remember, a Saints loss officially put the Saints season over with this team. And really, this is a pride game, if anything. We gave the Eagles so much. You gotta beat the Eagles, man. You gotta beat the goddamn Eagles. And it's really a toss. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy to beat them, but it's easier to beat them without Jalen Hurts, to be honest with you. So look like fate is tossing the Saints something. If they play up to form and have a good game and try to bring a little magic from the Raiders game, perhaps delve into themselves and say, listen, man, we got to get this, and everybody counting us out. We can take advantage of this game and do it. We'll see how they thinking, man. I don't know, man. I really don't know. I can't judge the Saints because they're so inconsistent. They so it's just really weird, watching this team play, man, because the defense steps up, but the freaking offense, man, my God. It's hard to get a beat on them because they're so inconsistent. And then the play calling is so suspect at times. One drive you look good, the next drive look like you never called plays before. 2 or 3 drives later after they fell apart, then they get one good drive. Then in half of the next drive is good, then they fall apart. It's just terrible. It's terrible and awful watching the offense just suffer through games, watching the offense barely put up points, and hoping the defense and special teams do just enough for us to win a game. That's so awful and sick of it, man. Really it is. But we'll see what they can do in the matchup, man. Can they turn it on? We'll see, man. We'll see. All right. So with that being said, I got a few more minutes before I bounce out, family. We got a Pelican post-game report. Watch live scoreboard we'll be doing. The game starts at 7:30 Central Time. Pels and Sixers. How about that? We got the Philadelphia Sixers Friday night against the Pelicans, and then on Sunday the Saints against the Eagles. So that's pretty cool. It's a Philadelphia versus New Orleans sports weekend. That's pretty cool. The Pels tonight against the Sixers, and the Saints and the Eagles on Sunday. How you love that? All right, so anyway, let's keep it bucking, man. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all. Any questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat, and I'll do my best to answer them for you guys. Shout out to all the fam. Appreciate y'all being up in here. Shout out to all the rest of y'all guys. Let me give a Linda. Shout out to you, Trey, JT, OG, Jared, Paul, Linda, Michael Nelson, Swag Fan. What's up, Trey? 504 Cole. Let's see, Willie. What's up, Willie? Shout out to you. Ant-Man. What's it? Oz Mike in the building as well. Brother Prime, Brother Carlton, Big Smoke Dog, Shauna, shout out to the fam. April, shout out to you as well, cracking up. Brother Derek, what's happening, fam? Kenyatta, what's happening, Kenyatta? Good to see you. All right, shout out to you, KT. What's up, my brother? All right, shout out to you, Jeremy. What's up, fam? Appreciate you. All right, Brother Wallace, I see you, fam. Appreciate you as well, sir. All right, Brother Eric, Red Swan, Elites in the building. Good to see you, fam. Let's see who else we got chilling up in this thing. Pammy, shout out to you, Queen. KB, shout out to you, Queen. Shout out to all the queens up in here, man. I always got to give the queens a shout out, man. Got to give them some love. All right, who else we got chiming in on this thing? Brother Tori, I see you, fam. Shout out to you as well. All right, Bishop, I see you, fam. Gundam, what's up, brother? Good to see you as well. All right. Yep. All right, Inevitable, I see you, fam. What's up? What's up, K-New? Shout out to you, brother. All right, let's see. Can you to you? Shout out to you, bro. Brother Derek, what's up, brother Derek? Shout out to you, my brother. Good to see you in the building, brother Derek L. All right, what's up, Rubby Mac? Shout out to you, brother Jarrell. I see you, fam. Godfidence, shout out to you, fam. Much love. What's up, Irvin? Shout out to you, Mario. What's popping, brother? All right, shout out to the fam. All right, any questions, fam? Throw them in the chat, man, and I'll see what I can do right here. Eric says, Q, you know, Mickey Loomis never interviewed DA. Hold on now. Hold on, Eric. You're basically calling me a liar, you know. And listen, I'm many things, you know. I mean, I fall asleep watching games sometimes, but hey, I'm getting old up there, you know. I'm getting old, you know. But I'll be goddamn if anybody called me a liar. Listen here, I'll tell you something here, buddy. I am nobody's liar. I interviewed him for 6 hours. You heard me. I did it. What's up, Antoinette? Shout out to the queen, man. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, he said he did. I played the interview, bro. Mickey said he interviewed Dennis Allen for 6 hours. He interviewed Eric Bieniemy for 8 hours. And he came up with, you heard what he said. That's why I played it. I said, family, y'all remember this? And family, like, yeah, we kind of stored it and tucked it away. And then people didn't truly, you know, really like, what is this guy talking about? Who is he talking about? Who the hell is he talking about? You talking about Dennis Allen sitting up there at 6 and 9. Swag said, what's up, Swag? Says, hey, Q, you ever dunked a Funyun in sour cream? It's delicious. I got a bag of Funyuns up in there right now, bro. But I know I never tried that, bro. I'm going to have to do that, man. I'm going to have to try that. No, I sure had, man. Sure had. All right, Gundam, what's up, bro? Says, Big Q, explain the gap blitz, please, sir. Yeah, well, the one I just was drawing from is like when you looking at blitz in the gap or gap blitz or whatever, is when and it's used different ways. Like say for instance, if we got our 4 offensive linemen against, their 4 defensive linemen against their 5 offensive linemen, and there's a situation where our 4 guys occupy their 5, which means to do that, you know, one of our interior people, preferably one of our interior men, would be so disruptive that it takes 2 people to guard him. And that's how our 4 would beat their 5. Like, this guy is so disruptive. Usually that would be David Onyemata, our best inside defensive lineman. He would have to be so disruptive that it would take 2 of their offensive linemen, the center and the guard, to double him to stop him from causing problems. Usually when that happens, and that frees up everybody to one-on-one matchups, then that if you're a true a pro or a guy that's should be an elite level pass rusher or on your way there, you should be able to beat that one-on-one matchup to have success, whether you running in to try to stop the run or blitzing or trying to get around the edges to get a sack on the quarterback. Usually when that happens, when defensive linemen are doing that and they're being disruptive to get that extra blocker to guard that extra guy, that frees up your linebackers. The linebackers can either roam in space to cover, or they can simply start blitzing the gaps, the running gaps in between alignment. And they've been using a strategy like that on the Saints when we tend to struggle, and then we didn't have any place to run, and we became very predictable. As you see Tom during the season, you'll see their linebackers doing that, or their safeties doing that. So you use our linebackers in there to get in those gaps and blitz those gaps, either against the running attack, or simply send guys in there, extra pass rushers in there to get at the quarterback. So like I said, it could be a linebacker or it can be a defensive back that they use the blitz to do what I call blitz gaps, a gap blitz. I kind of interchangeably do that because relatively mean the same thing. But to send guys in there to hit those gaps, to get in those gaps where the running lanes usually is, you send your linebacker or defensive back in there to disrupt whatever running situation they got going on. So they do that against us, and the Saints have been doing that to some success, getting guys in those running holes to make it difficult on them running backs trying to get in there. So I've seen them use it very successfully against the Saints, but that type of stuff happens when our guys, our interior defensive linemen, are disruptive enough to allow those linebackers to roam like that. If we're not, commanding the double teams on the defensive line, that allows their extra offensive linemen to leak out and put his hands on our linebackers or whoever and drive them out. Then the running back or whatever works behind them. So, that's that thing about having interior defensive linemen that have the ability to be able to occupy or force a double team. And that guy's supposed to be David Onyemata. It most certainly isn't Shai Tuttle. Our best interior guy is supposed to be David Onyemata. He hadn't played like it this year though. But that's the way I explain it. Thank you, brother. All right, Brother Wallace says, Mick and Loomis, they lied to us. He says, Mick and Loomis, they lied to us. They fooled us big, Q. The way I see it, bro, I'm not gonna, no problem, Brother Gundam. The way I see it with the Mick and Loomis thing, bro, in the Who Dat Nation, you give people chances, right? But when you see, like you may, and for our entrepreneurs out there, when you hire somebody, they can put on their best business suit and come out there and look good. The next thing you know, a month later, they not the person you hired because they was putting on fronts. They was putting on the front. So when you start seeing them, they ain't hiding. They put you, like the hood say, they showed you their representative, but they don't hold. They sent their representative out there, so they put on their best gear and they do all that. They talk all proper. They don't sling, and they put the belt on so their pants ain't sagging, and all this kind of stuff. And then a week or two later, their representative gone, and you stuck with the person you hired, and it's the exact opposite of the guy you thought you got, and that would be considered a bad hire because this is not the guy I hired. It's not the son bitch I hired. So at the end of the day, the NFL is a performance-based business, and I'm not saying cut Dennis Allen because we have a six-win team, but everything needs to be taken in thought. You got to be able to kind of contrast that thing and add information around that thing. The Saints team in the window that we have here, you can't allow an incompetent coach to take over this team right now. You need a coach that got his stuff together, not somebody that's so incompetent that they dragging the team down. And that's what Dennis Allen is. And the lack of skills, the lack of things that he has is just a detriment to the team as a whole. How do you explain the fact that the Saints are 6-9 on the season? How do you explain that? Well, Cuba, they had all these injuries. The first thing they're going to run to is the injuries. Well, we didn't have our best wide receiver. Who, Chris Olave? Huh? You can't put all that on that because the Saints, that's the whole thing about the injury bug. If that might have worked last year to a degree, but the Saints were prepared for injuries this year because they suffered through so many of them last year. That's why they upgraded all the positions that they had injuries at. That's why you had all of these other people that were brought in to act as such. So you can't blame all of that on the injuries, especially when you had key players that were there that were having success and your OC didn't get those guys involved throughout a full game. Like you had Taysom Hill was big in the Seattle game, right? And then the next game you come back, you don't even use him the same, and nothing was wrong with him. Even to the media asked Carmichael, "Hey man, what's wrong? Was Taysom hurt or something? Why would that we see that? No, he's not hurt. You're not hurt. Nothing wrong with Taysom Hill. That just means you didn't play him. Well, we just got to do better at that, man. Miss me with that, man. And you got 2 games left, bro. So I mean, at the end of the day, it's incompetence. But you as a coach got to be on top of your offensive coordinator. You allow him to have a certain amount of leeway if he's doing a good job winning. But when the losses are piling up, and your offense could have gave you 14 points against the San Francisco 49ers, and they didn't. They could have gave you extra yardage on plays like against the second matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in which the Saints were up by 2 scores, and with 3 minutes left, let the Buccaneers beat us on the back end, and all we needed to do was convert a first down. We run the clock out. But we letting Carmichael call these plays, and we're like, Carmichael, hold on, bro. Let me override this play. And we on the Buccaneers 44-yard line, and then after the 2 failed play, the Ingram run out of bounds play, and then the slant play to Callaway, and then it's 4th down on the Buccaneers 41. And why am I punting the ball? Why are we sending the punt unit out there? Let's put the jumbo package in there. Go give me that 1 yard. Y'all can't give me that 1 yard. I'm putting all y'all on the bench. We need this game. Why are we punting on the 44-yard line at that position in time? That's what I'm saying. That type of stupid, boneheaded bullshit during the clutch moments of the games, We can't have that with a team with a window. The Saints team is on a window. It's a 3 to it was now it's going into 2, but it was a 3, and you can stretch it a little bit to 4-year window because the players that you have that are very good, the Cams, the Mario Davis, they're going to retire outside of that window. So you got to take advantage of their goodness right now. You have to take advantage of their good right now. That's what windows are. And then the contracts like a Michael Thomas and Elvin Kamara, all those are within the same window. So we don't have room for error from a dumbass coach who don't know how to communicate, to the chagrin of what Mickey said. He's a great, just a hell of a coach. No, he's the coach from hell. So you jumbled up your words, Mickey. He's just a hell of a coach. No, Mickey, he's the coach from hell. You screwed up on that. You twisted your words there, Mickey. You got a little confused there. He's the coach from hell. Because there's no way in God's green earth that the Saints, as talented as they are, should be a 6-win team right now. Trying to get the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to lose 2 games when we had them people up by 2 scores, and now we need them to lose 2 games on the back end of the season to the Panthers. And I talked to Big Load today. Y'all be watching out for that shirt. They're going to be getting that picture real soon. You're going to be getting that picture. Can you too? You said, well, shout out to you, fam. Thank you for the super chat, fam. Much love to you. Appreciate that, sir. This is the crazy part about it, though. We got to get the who that's out there have to get the Buccaneers to lose their last 2 games and then turn around and ask the Atlanta Falcons and root for the Falcons in the final game of the year for the Falcons to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Are you kidding me? I got to root for the Falcons to win a game? You know we in dire straits when that happened. Remember, it happened last year when we had to root for the Rams to win. And they didn't. They just threw an interception to keep your ass out of the playoffs. But we learn rough. That's what it is. We like to learn rough. So at the end of the day, I don't like what's going on with the team. And a lot of it hedges on the head coach, because you can go out and pick just three games. The Saints should have at least been a 9-6 club at this point, because a lot of these games, they shouldn't have never lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Never. They shouldn't have never lost to the Steelers. They only needed 2 touchdowns to beat the Niners. They only needed 3 minutes to beat the Buccaneers. That's 3 wins right there. What do you? They should have never lost to the Carolina Panthers. But that's what happened when you have an incompetent non-leader guy at the top of the team who don't reel in coordinators around him to check him, because he's too busy trying to call plays for the defense like he's the defense Sean Payton. No, you to do better just letting these other guys call the plays and you watch over all the other units. That's not what he's doing. So, I mean, that's why we stink so bad, man. And we clamoring for other teams to help get us in there. So, it's terrible, man. Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry. Rubby Max said, yo, Q, is Rubby Max. Okay, I'm sorry, bro. It says Mac, like mac and cheese, M-A-C. I'm sorry. He says Max. Okay, M-A-X. All right, my bad, brother. I'm looking at your tag. It says Rubby Mac, M-A-C. All right, okay, let's keep it going. Prom said, I created internet-based engineering welding workbooks for 8 to 12 grade. Okay. All right, Prom is deep, man. All right, Brother Eric says, so cute. DA sent his representative. Yes, he damn right. You won't see him? Look, let me show you his. Look at him sitting right there. That he is right there. He popped up right here. Oh, listen, this guy's a hell of a coach. Yeah, he definitely had him fooled, man. Sean Payton, the reason why he got in there, he got a referral. That's how he got hired, fam. He got hired off a referral by Sean Payton. Y'all know how that works. All right, Skylife, shout out to you, bro. Good to see you. Gundam says, Phil, you Brian, other pros observing from distance. Yeah, we want to see that dress if the Saints backslide the playoffs. Nah. Nah, bro. That ain't happening, bro. That ain't happening, my brother. That's not gonna happen, my brother. Derek says, why should we, DA, be given grace? He gave Jameis, and he didn't give Jameis no grace. And the reason why you gonna give him grace, not me or you per se, but this guy, Mickey Loomis, is gonna give him grace because they don't want to cut his contract, whatever it may be. We don't know what Dennis Allen's contract is. Let me put it in the search box. Dennis Allen's Saints contract. All right. All I pull up, it says defensive coordinator Dennis Allen agree on new contract. 3-year contract as the defensive coordinator. And then you look at where, now this is Sport Track, man. Sport Track have all the scoop. Look what they got for Dennis Allen. Goose eggs. He got no information there. Dude, what is going on? Why we don't know how much this dude getting paid, man? What is going on here? We don't know nothing about this guy's contract, man. All the sport, even these people from the NFL, they said Saints hiring Dennis Allen. And then you listen to Rappaport, he doesn't tell you the length of the contract. He don't tell you how much the contract is. They tell you they hiring him, and then they go into the history. They don't tell you how much the contract for. I was like, man, what the hell? I started looking all of them the same way. It's like some weird butterfly effect type shit. It's strange, man. We don't know what the man making, bro. We don't know what they paying him. We don't know what's going on, family, with this whole thing. Old Mickey Loomis is holding secrets. All right, 504's not getting my hopes up. Again, Q, can't do it. It won't do it. I got you, bro. Swag said, I'd rather lose than be at the mercy of my enemies. Damn. Brother Prime says, Q, when was the last you depended on your enemy for anything? Never, bro. Never. You supposed to handle your business. Don't let your business handle you. That's what Mystical say. Mystical said, handle your business. Don't let your business handle you. Wasn't that what he said? Yeah. But if the reality in the universal law, if you don't handle your business, the universe will handle it for you. And usually when they handle it for it, it's always the most messed up way that it ends up. So whatever you do, handle your business. Don't let your business handle you. Irvin says Loomis needs his soul sent to the devil for saying Diaz is a hell of a coach. He said it. Watch. He said it. Watch. Let me play it for y'all again. Listen to this.
Dennis Allen. And we selected him because of his leadership skills.
What?
Because of his teaching skills.
What?
Because of his football acumen.
What?
And frankly, he's just a damn good football coach.
I bit my tongue.
We interviewed him for 6 hours last week.
And we found out, and Sean was standing right next to him holding his hand. I said, well, Sean, you gotta let him stand on his own. Well, at the end of the day, I made the call and it was Dennis Allen.
But the truth is, we've been interviewing him for 12 of the last 16 years.
Now, you know damn well that's not the truth, Mickey. Now, why you going to lie like that to the people? The truth is you wasn't interviewing him for no 12 years. Cut it out, Mickey. Because had you been doing that, you'd have knew that he wasn't shit.
We hated it when he left in 2011.
Well, I hated that you lying about it, and I hated that we got him right now. I'm tired of him.
And we couldn't have been more excited than when he returned to us in 2015.
Well, you see, he returned because he got fired. My bad, I wasn't supposed to say that.
He's been instrumental.
And totally effing up this team. And I ain't a micromanager, goddammit. But, I like the guy.
In all of the success that we've had over the last 16 years.
It's not because of him. It really, he did a good job with the defense. Goddamn it. He's nobody's perfect, Q. Goddamn.
We are grateful for Allison, and we're grateful for Garrison and Layla, who are true New Orleanians.
Yeah, they true because he ain't shit. He's not a true New Orleanian.
In the family because they've spent most of their life here. I couldn't be more honored, more excited than to introduce the next head coach of the
what's his name again? I almost forgot his name right quick.
New Orleans Saints, Dennis Allen.
All right, there you go. All right. Oh, that looks bad. It didn't age well.
Man, I tell you, man, what BS that was, bro. I just thought I had to share that with y'all, man. Wasn't that awful?
Oh, he's a great coach. He's just a hell of a coach.
No, he ain't a hell of a coach, Mickey. He's the coach from hell. KT says Q almost choked on my Ciroc when you play. Yeah, I know, bro. That's what that's what I do. I just remind people. See, we be remembering this stuff, but it just be packed away because every day we get so much information. And you forget that it just goes into like a pocket of your memory. You know what I'm saying? But when you bring that back, it has so much impact when you take a moment in time like that and bring it to where we are and see how vastly different than we were when that guy shook his hand and went up to the podium and did commence to destroy the Saints team. See, long before he totally decapitated the quarterback position, alienated a $20+ million quarterback, decapitated the offense, made it a inconsistent mass of players moving in and out with no leadership ability. His defense in itself suffered because even if you could say Dennis Allen Q, at least he kept the defense strong. When he took over the head coach job, his defense fell apart. The defense is allowing people to rush for 132 yards on them, bro. You know, that's when he was just doing his job there. That tells me right there that he is not a good person at handling other things. He can't do all these different things. He could focus on one thing and one thing only. But he is not that guy, man. He's not that dude.
Yeah, he's an excellent coach.
No, he's not, Mickey. Cut it out. All right. It wasn't that hard. That didn't age at all, man. And really, he got that job because of Sean Payton, which is for all my people out there talking about they want Sean Payton. You suffering because of Sean Payton. Sean Payton was the one that told Mickey Loomis to hire Dennis Allen. And let me see if I can find the article. Let me give y'all some receipts on it. People say, no, he didn't, Q. Let me hold on here. Hold on. Let me give y'all some receipts. And some people remember, some don't. Sometimes I like to just put the receipts out there because I covered this ad nauseam. I covered this so much here. Let me see if I can pull it up. We covered it on the show. Let me see, Sean Payton. Let me see if I can pull it out of the Wayback Machine. Because we covered it so much on the shows, man. So much on the shows. Came up, man. All right. No, I can't find. I'm going to have to keep looking. Interview. Yeah, I forgot the Bears. I forgot Dennis Allen was supposed to interview with the Bears. Man, why didn't they hire him? They should have hired him, man. We wouldn't be going through all this. I'm going to have to keep looking. I don't have time to keep looking because we about to go. But we covered it on the show, man, that Sean Payton in interviews said it. He said, yeah, in interviews, Sean Payton mentioned it. He said that Dennis Allen should be the man. Let me see. Sean Payton called it. Let me see. Hold on here. I can't find. It was an interview that he did when he said it. Yeah, I can't find it right now, but I remember, man. We did a show on it, man. There's so many shows that we did, but yeah, I remember Sean Payton was talking about it in the interview, and there were some articles we covered where Payton was the one that was advocating for them to sign him, and he was saying it. Yeah, Dennis should be the coach. I picked Dennis. All right, but anyway, listen, fam, appreciate y'all for chiming in on this. I appreciate y'all. Please feel free to hit the like button if y'all hadn't already hit it. Please feel free to share the show stream in your social media feed as well. And man, we got an interesting game. The Saints match up against the Eagles Sunday at 12 o'clock. We'll see what's going on. Now, I know, Eric, they said they raised. No, it's somewhere. I got to keep looking. I will find it, bro. Eventually, I'll find it. But, you got so much going on. Even I have to go look back in the show's archives. I'll find it, man, because we covered it. Y'all know we covered it on here. All right, so Uncle Paul to say, hey, fam, just proves the Saints aren't interested in winning another Super Bowl as long as Dennis Allen's at the head coach, and I'm not supporting the mess in any way. Thank you, fam. Appreciate you. All right. Yeah, bro, Mickey should be a politician the way he lies to people. Mickey sit up there and told that lie.
Oh, yeah, he's a great coach. Yeah, well, I got to keep it right. I got to spread it on a little thick, you. I almost forgot the goddamn guy's name up there. I went, Yeah, I'd like to introduce y'all to the next coach, Dennis Allen. He ain't a true New Orleans. His relatives are, or his people over there, but he ain't shit. All right, so with that being said, let me get on up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shop. Links in the description section below. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, and I'm going to holler at you guys. On the flip side, for my Pelican people, we'll be doing the Pelican post-game report tonight. We'll be opening up the phone lines. So if you like the Pels and you want to see us recap and you want to get your word in on the Pel chat, feel free to go to our other platform, the Pelican post-game report on YouTube, and you can be able to watch the live scoreboard. Following the live scoreboard, we'll have the recap show with me and my co-host, DC. So with that being said, I'm going to get out on the flip side. Much love to the fam, and who that tell you.
Yeah. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. Long as I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, yeah, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Somebody please better help. Running this thing like Elf. I thank God every day I'm not a felt. Go to YouTube Live with Big Q and the guys. If you ain't ride or die, the bandwagon get flipped. Been marching in, that was way for the ring. I was yelling out your chain for the championship. Bucking on town, duck down. Falcons pluck, get shut down. Panthers ain't much touchdown. The vision really belong to us now. So much hate on the Saints, you could probably tell. Ever since Bounty Gate hit the NFL, when things seem fishy, then you probably smell the crooked referees or Roger Goodell. Yeah, running like this, and I'm a who that. Every day I'm living, I'm a who that. Lose or winning, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that. Where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that, where we do that. Boogie like Benson, I'm a who that. It's the Sports Coma, this is where we do that.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Daily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelican, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember,